So it's good to see people here. That means you all are uh, very like to participate in this session. And today's topic is composite model or Power BI datasets and Azure Analytics services. So actually, this is a very powerful feature, and I will tell the evaluation of this feature and what we can get from this feature. So let's begin the presentation. So here, here, uh, uh, I'm Samudra, and I'm currently working as a senior data analyst at Wiley, Sri Lanka. So I have been doing sessions for many times now. I participated New Stars of Data and last month Data Minutes, and even Sri Lanka. I'm doing sessions in Sri Lanka data community meetups and different communities. And here you can follow me through Twitter and LinkedIn, and I have mentioned my blog post as well. So let's see today's agenda. So here you can see, first of all, I would like to describe about the data connection types. Here you can we can get brief idea about the data connection types like import and direct query and the live connections. And after that, I'm going to brief introduction about self-service BI, enterprise BI, and what is the difference between those two BI services. And after that, I'm going to describe about the connection types usage using a diagram. So in that case, you can get a better idea about import connection, direct query, and the live connection. And in this presentation, I'm going to discuss about the history of two features and their releases. And after that, I'm talking about the what is the composite model and how it's work. And after that, I'm talking about the current feature and how it convert that connection live into the direct query connection. And there is a data set. Using that data set, I'm going to uh, demo that this concept. So as I told earlier, in Power BI Power BI, there are three types of data connections. First one is import data. Second one is direct query, and the third one is the live connection. So let me briefly discuss about these three connections. So first one is import data. So import data means we are getting data into the our Power BI application. So and we are refresh that existing data in the memory. So basically data resides in the memory, and because it's faster. It's fast because the data resides in memory. So easily we can query the data in the memory, and we need schedule refresh because we need to get up to date data to the memory. And the drawback of this connection is there is a 1 GB limit for each data set in the Power BI service. So in that case, if you have data more than 1 GB, you cannot import that data set. So the next connection is direct query. That means data resides in the database. So from the right hand side, you can see resides in data set. And here assume that there are 20 charts in the Power BI report. So the queries goes to the database and get the output and give it into the Power BI report. So in that case, actually it will take some time to get the data. So it's slower than the import data, because import connection, that data resides on memory, and we need data gateway. So base mainly we are using directory for non-Microsoft databases, and other relational databases, like if we are using SQL Server, Terabyte, or Oracle, we can use directory, because if we have more than 1 GB data, so we can easily use the directory. And the third one is the live connection. So live connection, we are mainly using SSA's tabular, and SSA's multidimensional, and the Power BI datasets. Mainly we are using live connections for these things, and actually it resides on in memory, and we are querying the live data. So in the import data, we are not referring the live data. So in that case, we want scheduler. So here we don't want actually the scheduler, we are referring the live data. And it's this one is also fast, because it's resides on the memory. And so hope we have an understanding about the three connection types. And let me explain about the what is self-service BI. This is a very common term in these days. So self-service BI means people can do data preparation or even data visualization on their own easily without getting expert helps. So assume that if you are a business analyst or a project manager, and you want to show some reports regarding the business domain, whether it's sales or procurement, whatever. So easily you can easily get the Power BI tool, and if you have the data set, you can easily create visuals and show it to the your clients. So that is what we are mean in the self-service BI. And there are many leading BI tools out there which support self-service BI from the Microsoft stack. We are using Power BI. And let me describe about enterprise BI. So enterprise BI means, it's simple words. It is a software designed for use in large businesses. So it could be ERP system, or uh, a, a software. So actually the goal is the software, that ERP system, that goal is to increase productivity and efficiency in the complex environment of an enterprise. So enterprise BI is simply BI software that caters its functionality to large businesses. So here also you can see from the uh, left hand side, you can see there are some on-premises data, and we can get uh, we all know, like there are different kind of data we can get from different places. So here in the diagram, you can see there are on-premises data, cloud data, devices data, SaaS data. So once we got that data from the different places, we are doing data injection, and after that we are doing the data preparation. In this data preparation step, we are doing some joining tables, and we are cleansing our data, that we are removing some columns, and we can split and we can merge. There are a lot of things we can do in this data preparation step. After that, normally in the enterprise world, there are lot of data. So we are creating a data warehouse. So in that case, in data warehouse, we have dimension, facts, all these things. And so after that, we are creating some BI semantic models. Means in Microsoft terms, we are creating SSAs. That means SQL Server Analysis Services. So in that case, so based on that model, the semantic model, in the using the Power BI, we are creating report. So you can see there is a process, and Actually, people need technical help to do these things in Microsoft stack, also other stacks as well. So, and now we know what is Power BI, sorry, what is self-service BI and what is enterprise BI. So uh, let's compare these two. So here you can see. You mean that self-service means we all know, right? So if we are going to the McDonald's or Burger King, so you need to pay the amount and you need to get the food. They are not serving to you. So in that case, here also in self-service means using the Power BI. Here, if you are a data analyst or project manager, you have access. You have direct access to the data set, and even you can prepare data using the Power BI. You know that there's a Power Query. You can prepare data using the Power Query, and after that you can create your data modeling. So you have the control of creating the data model, and finally you can create visuals and some dashboards using the self-service BI tools. And when it comes to the enterprise, uh, so so you have the access to that data warehouse, but you can't do any modifications to that. You don't have the control of that data warehouse. So in that case, if you want to if there's a sales data set and you want to insert the budget data, so you have to contact IT person, and that IT person will do the data, that the insertion part, and based on that data you are going to create reports. So in that case you need help from IT experts, and from the enterprise, the IT persons are preparing data and they have the control, like I say. And so if you want to get some data and if you want to query that data set, that model, so you have to write SQL queries, or you can use custom scripts. So now you have good understanding about the self-service, the comparison between the self-service and the enterprise BI. So, and we'll get more idea about the connection type usage. So for in this diagram, you can see from the left hand side, there's a SQL server, the place where data warehouse stays, and here there's a Power BI report, and if you are importing data to the Power BI report, you can get only 1 GB limit data set, and that is the limitation there. And after that you can deploy it in the Power BI service in the cloud. So other one is you can direct query the data set, and you can get that output result to the Power BI report, and after that you can deploy that as well in the Power BI service. And the other one is you can get the data, and using a Power BI developer, someone else, we can use Visual Studio data tools, and we can do the data changes and transformations, and we can create a model, and after that we can deploy that model in Azure Analysis Service, or server, or SQL Server Analysis Service. So in that case, the data is resides in the this analysis server. So here there are two types you can get data. One is using the Power BI you can import data, but you can't do any modifications. You can just only see the data using the using the Power BI. Another one is you can get, sorry, if you are importing the data, you can edit data, and if you are getting the live connection, you can't add any column or measures. So import in data means that data resides on the Power BI file. So you can add measures and columns. And like I said previously, the limitation is there's a 1 GB limit per data set. So that is the limitation. So and I'm going to talk about the history and the new releases. So here I'm going to talk about two releases. First one is composite model, and it happened 2019 November. So here actually previously we can use only one type of connection to build a report. So in that case we can use either direct query or a import connection. So I will explain what is the composite model. And in in actually in composites model, it allows the report to have two or more data connections from different source groups, such as one or more direct query connections and import connections. Or you can combine one or more connections, and you can easily create a composite model. And the other one is composite models over Power BI dataset and Azure analysis services. So here this was released in public preview in 2020, December 31st. So using this one, you can get the actually previously we can't get any data set, like we can add any custom custom column or measures for Azure Analysis Services data model. So with this feature, we can get that data model to our Power BI as a direct query, and we can do some calculations, and we can combine other data sets, or we can import or direct query from other data sets, and we can get lot more things in Power BI. So let me explain how composite model works. So here you can see, assume that this is the same data models which is in a database. So here you can see the same structure. One is from, we can actually for Power BI report, we can either get data used in the direct query or import. So this composite concept, here you can see it we can combine these data sets, and actually it's a combination of direct query and the import query. So here you can see from the green color, so here some date, product, employees, geography. So in that case we can import those less amount dimensions, and we can get data used in the direct query for facts and high volume dimensions. So in that case, actually we can increase the performance of the model, and Power BI report will get faster. So that is the concept of the composite model. And after this model, actually this releases was happened in 2018 November, and this is the feature which I am talking about today, and that is composite models of Power BI datasets and Azure Analysis services. So here you can see in the middle, so enterprise semantic model is there, and all the uh, actually when we are getting that model into the Power BI, we are converting that model into the local model, and we can combine these other data set, like if it could be a Power BI data set or relational data or Excel or any other data. So that is the composite model. Sorry, this is the new feature. And here you can see, like get an idea about this is the previous diagram which I have used, and I did some modifications. Here you can see after this feature introducing, here we can get Azure Analysis services data, that is which is previously was in the live connection, and using this feature we can get that data into the direct query, and we can do some modification. We can add some calculated columns and calculated measures. So actually, from the user side, you can actually create a vast variety of charts. So actually, the limitation is also not here. So if we can improve the performance of these Azure Analysis services, so you can get better performance as well. So it's a good feature, and it mitigate big issues when we are building a Power BI dashboard for the enterprise level. So let's move on to the demo. So first I'm going to open the Power BI, and it will take some time. Uh, okay. Okay. So this is the Power BI window, and I want to connect to the uh, Azure Analysis service data set. So using this get data, you can do that, and there are, you can see there are plenty of uh, data connections. I'm using the Azure, and this is Azure Analysis Services database. So I will click on that, and I want to connect. So I am here. I am putting the server name, and uh, my database is AdventureWorks. So I am putting it as well, and I'm using the connect live method to get data. So basically here you can see the data set here. So these have the sales data, and there are some customer, date, geography, product category, product subcategory, dimensions. And if we are in the right hand side, you can see we are using live connection. And if you want to make changes, you can click here to make the changes to that data model. And anyway, we have to activate this feature. To do that, what we can do is we need to click the file, and there's a option called options and settings, and there's option, and here there's a tab called preview data. So if you want to do this, you have to activate this direct query for Power BI dataset and analysis services. So I already activated this feature, and I'm going to click OK, and I enable that feature. And after that, normally using the Power BI, so I'm going to create a table. So here I'm going to create a table. So first of all, I am putting the using the product. Uh, I'm going to put product ID and the sorry product. I want the product category ID and the product category name here. And you can see the data is appearing on the left hand side. And I want order quantity. So internet sales table, there's a field order quantity. So I can put order quantity here as well. So basically we get the data using the live connection here. And actually I want to measure the sales gross profit. So in that case, so anyway, I have to create a measure. So one limitation is here using this Azure Analysis services. If I get data from the live connection, here you can't you can't create any measure. So anyway, you can't create any measure. So in that case, I need to transform this one. So here I can make a change. So if I want to add a measure here, I need to convert into the local model. So here this message is appearing. This PBI file has a live connection to a remote model. To make changes such as renaming columns, adding data from multiple sources, and more, you need to direct query. So in that case, by clicking this add a local model, it will change to the direct query connection. So I add that one, and it will load the direct query, this one. And from the right hand side, you can see the storage mode change to the direct query. So in that case, now we can create measures. So here, so I'm going to create the sales gross profit. So in that case, I'm creating new measure, and it will measure here. My measure name is sales gross profit, and it is the I have to subtract total sales and total product cost. So I will put total sales here. Here total sales, and I'm going to minus total product cost. This one. Okay, here you can see the sales gross profit measure has created. So I can simply drag and drop to the values, and here you can see uh, the sales gross profit is also there. And so initially we couldn't create measures, and we convert this to the local model, and now we can create measures here. And as you know, in the enterprises level, there are so many data sets are there. So in that case, previously only data sets are appearing here, but we can't do any we can't add columns or add measures. So if you want to add columns and measures, you have to contact the relevant IT people, and you have to get the you have to get the you have to get that you have to add that particular changes from the IT people. So actually using this feature, it's very easy. And here now we have created one measure, and I have another Excel. So here you can see I have sales. Wait, share that. Here you can see I have sales gross profit target. So in the Power BI report, we have sales gross profit actual values, and in the Excel sheet we have a gross profit target. So I need to get the difference between sales target and the actual gross profit value. So in that case, I'm going to import this Excel to my Power BI. So what we can do is uh, I'm I can get that data set using this button, Excel workbook. So and here you can see the Excel file, and use
You have to. I think you have it open in Excel. Please close it in Excel, otherwise it won't work.
Actually, okay, okay, this one, right? Okay, sorry for that. Okay, thank you, Gabi. Okay,
No
so
problem.
here I'm opening that Excel file. And I have a sheet sales target. So I'm going to select that one. Here you can see product ID, product category, and the sales GP target. So I'm going to load that data into the Power BI file. And there is another warning. And anyway, I have to build this model. So I'm going to click OK. And the data will appear uh, on the Power BI. So here in this in here you can see the data model panel. So here I forgot to tell that you can see here the blue color bars, right? So here these are the data sets, the tables which comes from Azure Analysis Services, and this is the other data set which I have import from my Excel. So here you can see we don't have any relationship between this product category ID and this product category ID, and we can simply create that using by drag and drop here. And here I'm going to, the primary key is product category ID, and I'm going to click OK. So for now, I didn't put any years or date values here. So anyway, it's one-to-one mapping here. So and I want to create some. I want to get that difference. So in that case, again we can go to the Power BI file, and here you can see the import file here. So I have only product category ID, and the sales GP target. So here, my currently my task is to get the difference between sales GP and the sales GP target. So anyway, this is a calculated column. So anyway, in order to get the difference, I need to create a calculated column. Sorry, calculated uh, measure. So in that case, I am going to create another measure. So that means I will put it as total uh, target, and to calculate sum of that uh, sum of that sales GP target. Okay, this one. I will put enter. Then here you can see I have total GP target and the internet sales table. I have sales GP here. Yeah, okay. So I want to add that one to here in the table. So I'm going to put total GP target into my table. So here you can see, actually for now I don't need this category ID. So I'm going to remove that. And I want to get the deviation from the sales GP and the sales target. In that case, I have to create another measure. So I'm going to create another measure, and I want to get the gross profit difference. So in that case, means uh, sales GP okay, minus total sales target, this one. Okay, now you can see the measure from the right hand side, and I am putting that value also into this window. So here you can see the difference is this much, and we have product category name and the order quantity and sales gross profit and the total gross profit target, and here is the difference. So likewise, actually we can do many more things using this powerful feature. So previously they introduced in 2018 composite model. Composite model, uh, even though they introduced composite model, we cannot do any changes to the Azure analysis services. So recently, in last year in 2020 December, they have introduced this feature. So in that case, we can connect to that Azure analysis services, and we can convert it into the local model, and we can add some measures, and we can add calculated columns to that Azure analysis service model. And after that, even if we want to combine two or more data sets, we can add that data set using import or direct. So in that case, it's very useful because we can do lot of things, and the heart of the enterprise data is exist on the Azure analysis, that means SSAS data models. So in that case, it's very powerful feature. And okay, let's actually that is what I want to cover from this session. And I'm going to sum up this session. So actually, initially I discussed about Power BI data connection types, including direct, import, and the live connections. And I gave introduction about what is self-service BI and the enterprise BI, and the difference between those self-service and the enterprise BI. And I have explained that connection types using a diagram. So hope you could like get an idea about those things. And after that, I discussed about two releases. And after that, I discuss about composite model, and using the demo I did some I did some modifications to the Azure analysis service. So that is the presentation for today, and these are some references. If you are interested to learn something, you can refer this one. And so, and this is the time for Q&A, and thank you very much for the Ben and the William to organizing these kind of events, and thanks for the Gabi for helping me during my sessions. Yeah, thank you very much for